Week 4 pick'ems.
Bum, 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 bum. YouTube, Ozit, going. The Goat House is back. We're back. Week 4 pick'ems. Yeah. We're back. There's the leaderboard on your screen. I mean, look, we got a three-way tie in first place. Xander Zupon, Big Ounce, and I got to figure out how to say that name. I think I said that every single week. And
I think you got it right.
I didn't even say it.
Xander Zupon?
No, the last one.
Oh, I thought it said Big Deuce for a second.
Big Ounce.
Yeah, the screen's kind of far.
But we got screens everywhere, though.
We got screens on screens.
37 apiece. That's impressive. Old Yeller and Pigskin. I'm hearing the footsteps from them. I definitely had a meatball week. We're gonna mark that only one meatball week allowed per year, and I'm done. We're already done. But we're on to week 4. Make sure you follow our Twitter link down below. It's got all sorts of good content, more to come. The channel has all kinds of NFL content, more to come. So like, subscribe, turn notifications on. You guys know the drill. If you want to join our Picks League, go to our Twitter. Another reason to go to the Twitter. And then check out that BetQL app. If you're a betting man or betting woman, you want to improve your sports book, go ahead, download the BetQL app. There's all kinds of info and links in the description of this video. There's a special offer for BetMGM. You get $200 free, win or lose. It's something brand new starting this week, so check it out. They got 5-star bets up there. They got what the professionals are betting on against the spread, money line, totals, everything. They got it. Use code GOAT if you sign up, 25% off. Again, more info and links in the description. Yeah.
They were 13-2 week 1.
They were 13-2 week 1. They were. That's hard to do.
NFL games.
On the 5-star bets. Yeah, they got them ordered by stars. You can customize your dashboard. It's something else.
Do they do pick'ems? Because everyone should start fading me because my picks have been terrible.
Yeah, but you're turning around this week, though.
That's what
This
I'm
is it
saying.
right here.
There's the Twitter. Check it out. Link down below. Just check it out. Oh, the Thursday night game is the Jags and the Bengals.
Jesus.
Don't know where they come up with these Thursday night. Well, this is actually.
I think it's going to be. All right. Hear me out.
Okay, let me hear you out. Let me hear you out.
Can this be a trap game for the Bengals?
Sure. I don't know if it's really much of a trap. Like, even if the Jags win,
I think it's two young teams, two young quarterbacks, and I think the Bengals, as a young team, could go in there and kind of expect that they're going to come out with a victory, especially at home. But I think it might be a closer game than I actually thought.
Well, that's the good thing about this. You think Jaguars, Bengals, it's not the best game, but you're thinking Trevor Lawrence versus Joe Burrow. Huh? Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like that little rivalry. But for the Jags, I mean, writing's on the wall a little bit, trading C.J. Henderson. So.
Yeah, that surprising move, but they still got
Dan Arnold.
They got better at tight end. They actually is bad. I think it was a very bad trade for the Jags, but technically today they might be better.
Well, if you look at it from training camp, they did have Tim Tebow on the roster. They did get better from then, that's for sure.
That's 100%. Who are you taking, Dan?
I'm taking the Bengals.
Oh, he's taking the Bengals.
Come on now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I think it can go either way. I think I saw the line was like 7.5. I think that might be too much, but Bengals are playing good defense actually. You look at week 1, they slowed down the Vikings, who have a pretty explosive offense. They lost to the Bears, but they really slowed them down in terms of their offense. And then they played great defense against the Steelers.
Did you say the Bears have an offense?
The Bengals slowed down the Bears' offense. I didn't say they had a good offense, but
okay.
Well, maybe,
sure. We'll get to that.
We'll get there. They haven't seen the Jags yet. I still think, part of me, even though the Jags are bad, we know that, I still think the Jags could have a sneaky good offense at times. They played the Cardinals pretty well, actually. I'm gonna take the Bengals though. I like the way they're playing defense. I think Joe Burrow has a solid. I think he has the best game. I'm gonna say it. I think he has his best game of his career so far. But I think the Jags put up a fight. You see glimpses of Trevor Lawrence, like, okay, that's why he was taken first. But then he throws a bad interception. It's like, all right, but at least he has the good moments still. At least they got James Robinson going last week. I'm Thursday night in Cincy. I'm gonna take the Bengals. They're playing some good defense, and I think the offense kind of breaks out here. Pete,
Yeah, give me the Bengals.
he's taking the Bengals.
I like what I saw against the Steelers. Really, really impressive.
Yeah, but it could be the Steelers' offense stinks. That could be it. I'm not saying
maybe.
But either way, it does. It does. Let's be honest. But the Bengals still played some good ball there. Old Yeller's taking Cincy, and the fans are taking Cincy. Yeah, I thought somebody was going to take the Jags there, so a little surprising. Goat House guarantee. Throw it up there, guaranteed rate. Thanks for the sponsorship. No, we didn't get the sponsorship yet, but we're working on it. I shouldn't even shout them out because they didn't give it to us yet. So I don't know what I'm doing.
Guaranteed blank.
Guaranteed blank. Washington blank team versus the Falcons. Falcons got
Arthur Blank.
Arthur blank.
There you go.
I don't just pure gibberish. Falcons got their first win. That was a terrible game, but Washington had a terrible game against the Buffalo Bills, who looked pretty good. But we'll get to the Bills. Yeah, are the Falcons getting going now after that win? Or defense of Washington's been pretty damn terrible when I was expecting it to be maybe the very best in football.
What's up with that?
I think this is the week where Washington's front seven is actually going to get to the quarterback. I mean, you got Matt Ryan, he's definitely sackable. Right,
definitely sackable.
And then you're looking at the Atlanta. Yeah, they got their first victory, but when Cordero Patterson's leading your all-purpose yards in a game, I don't think that's that good.
Isn't that? I mentioned that during the week too. They have Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts. We can even throw Mike Davis in there, and Cordero Patterson seems like the best weapon right now.
He's for sure a weapon.
He for sure is, but it's pretty wild.
Yeah,
like Kyle Pitts, Calvin Ridley. It's Cordero.
Good for Cordero because I like him. But again, you have weapons that you're not utilizing.
Is this the week they get going?
The front seven, yeah.
Washington,
they're going to get a sack.
Is that who you're taking?
Yeah, 100%.
This is a toss-up for me because Washington's defense has been playing so bad that I think Matt Ryan finally can get. I think he has an okay game. I think gets Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts going, but I'm actually on the same page as Dan there. I think this is the week that Washington's pass rush should get going. Chase Young should have a day. He's been underwhelming. I hyped him up going into this year. I'm waiting for it still. I'm on board. I think their pass rush has a day, and that's just the difference. I'm not fully believing at all in Heineke, though. He's got the turnover potential, which isn't good. Could Curtis Samuel come back this week? He's questionable for week 4, possible return here, so that could help. Yeah, I think the pass rush could be the difference, but if it's like what it has been the last few weeks, then it's not going to be the difference, and they're going to lose the game.
Unless Cordero Patterson's just running loose.
He might just get loose.
Get loose. No, I'm gonna go with the football team here.
Okay. You're not riding the Falcons again, Pete, like last week?
No, they made it too close.
Well, honestly, yeah, but they won. But honestly, the only reason you picked them is because they were playing the Giants. You're not allowed to pick the Giants.
Yes.
All right, you got Washington. Old Yeller has Washington. I didn't even look. I think he has. Well, he has Washington. Yeah. Fans, they have Washington. So that's another guarantee.
Kind of shocked by that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I thought somebody would take the Falcons instead of the last one.
Should I take the Falcons? Just no.
He thought about it. He thought about it for a second.
You can't pull one of those, Danny. It never works.
Yeah, it doesn't. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Do I just go with one of these?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like Davis
fans
Mills,
over there.
his neck,
It's a girthy neck. It's long too.
Yeah, his is like as long as Glennon's, but it's wide.
It's wide. That thing's huge.
Must work that thing out.
Good for him.
Yeah. So his comparison's millionaires Mike Glennon. That's the comparison.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not too hard to be better than Mike Glennon, so I think you'll be able to figure it out. But the Bills last 2 weeks look great, especially last week. Yeah, not much of a challenge here. The Texans were looking better than everyone thought until the injuries. They really everyone focused on Tyrod Taylor being out, but they really missed Justin Reed last week. We'll see if he's back, but they really missed him. Kind of in the middle of the deep secondary there last week, but the Bills they're looking tough. Week 1 doesn't represent who the Bills actually are. Yeah, they're just going to be better on both sides of the ball here, so I shouldn't really be surprised if everyone's taking them. What if the Texans? I think the Bills are 16.5 favorites, which you rarely see in the NFL.
Yeah, that's big.
Oh, this one's a 99%er too.
It's a 99 ESPN picks, fan voted picks, fan league picks.
Yep.
99% of you are taking the Bills. Makes sense. 1% diehard Texans fans. I'm guessing.
Let's get this over with. Let's get this over with.
All right, go. Let us hear it.
I texted you guys earlier in the week, and I said that I was going to take the Lions.
Yeah.
I'm going back on that. I'm still taking the Bears.
Oh, God.
Do the Bears deserve my pick? Absolutely not. Do the Lions deserve it? Yes, because they've been losing, but a heartbreaking loss last week on that field goal.
They're 0-3, but like close to
Exactly
2-1,
right. And
3-0
They should have had that
They're
one.
fighting. They're fighting. Just what Dan Campbell said. They're biting at the kneecaps.
They are.
But
They released Jamie Collins. He was a guy today. That was a guy that for sure was not biting the kneecaps. They made sure they got him. Hey, maybe they turn it around. They got the non-kneecap biter out of there. Now it's time for the Lions to finish games, maybe.
yeah, and it's definitely a winnable game for the Lions. But I am going to take the Bears at home because the Bears are at home. If this is in Detroit, the Lions should win that game. But I had a lot to say about Matt Nagy, and I'm still going to say it. What the fuck? So.
That's the whole fan base is with you right now.
Right. So can you blame all of it on Matt Nagy? What would you say?
No.
I'm going to say yes and no.
Yes and no?
Because the players still have to actually go out there and do the job. But Matt Nagy on the offensive side did not do any favors for the offense. You have a quarterback who could run the ball, and you're rolling. You don't even run plays to get him outside of the pocket. You did it twice the entire game. The first time they did it was with like 5 minutes left in the first half, and then later in the fourth quarter, late when we were already getting our ass beat, right when he was already being sacked 9 times. Like, how do you not scheme up extra protection? I have stats right here from Paul Hembo. No idea who you are, but thank you for the stats. 30 dropbacks, 4 were using pre-snap motions, 2 using max protection, 2 design rollouts, and 2 design quarterback runs. You have a quarterback that could run and you can throw, and you're not. I think what I read that there was 20 passing plays where it was just 5-man protection. So that's no tight ends chipping at the line of scrimmage where Justin Fields has, half a second to get the ball out. Granted, he hung on to the ball. That's on him. But at the same time, help your young quarterback out. And one thing I also wanted to say, if you go back, Bears fans will know what I'm talking about. If you go back 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I don't know, Mitch Trubisky era, first couple games with Matt Nagy, there was so much. Thank you. There was so much misdirection that the Bears were doing that it was helping Mitch get out of the pocket. We haven't seen that. It's early, but we haven't seen them do that once with Justin
They
Fields.
need Tariq Cohen back. He was a big.
You have Damian Williams. There's no excuse.
No, true. I'm saying I think they. It felt like when they used misdirection a lot. I felt like, if I remember correctly, 2-3 years ago, Cohen was always the guy in the game.
He was he was. But you also have Damian Williams, who's probably. Tariq Cohen's he's a game breaker. He's elusive, but Damian Williams. Right there with them.
Yeah.
You have playmakers on that offense, and you're not utilizing them. You have 2 huge-ass tight ends, and you're not chipping at the line of scrimmage. That's on Matt Nagy. If the Bears lose this game and Matt Nagy's not fired, the locker room, which is probably already lost, will be lost. Go Bears.
Yeah. Who do you think starting at quarterback this game?
I think the Nick Foles thing is bullshit. I
do too.
And here's another thing about Nagy. He's in his pressers. He's stumbling at the podium. So there's been twice in the past 2 weeks that he's actually had to send a PR person to have corrections to what he was saying. So somebody asked Matt if all the quarterbacks are expected to have an opportunity, and he said yes. He was really only referring to Andy Dalton and Justin Fields. If Andy Dalton's healthy enough, which I'm assuming he probably will be, especially after last week, Andy Dalton will probably start. If he's not, it'll be Justin Fields. But yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess in Chicago.
It's a 50-50 pick.
We know Yeller's going with the Lions, so that was a given.
What do you got?
It's a realistic pick. Tough one. I don't know who's starting at quarterback. There was reports back-to-back days that were just completely opposite last week. Like the first day, I think it was Friday. It was that Andy Dalton is likely back, ready to go next week, and they'll play him if he's ready. And the day after, it was Dalton will. Sounds like Dalton will be out longer than expected. So
that's the PR team coming back out and correcting. So it's again stemming with Nagy even in his press conferences. That's where all the confusion's coming.
So the quarterback definitely makes a difference.
Here's my one more thing. If Justin Fields is not starting this game and Andy Dalton, they're throwing Andy Dalton, who's partially hurt. You talked about throwing young quarterbacks into a terrible situation.
What about taking them out? You're saying?
Well, hold on. And I'm saying the Bears have all since the day we drafted, we're going to be very careful with him. We're going to be very careful with him. And they didn't even do that in the first game that he started in. And if they remove him and put a hurt Andy Dalton out there just because they don't want to hurt him, I think that's going to hinder him even more.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's tough.
I don't know.
I'm leaning towards the Bears. I think they're at home, like you said, and I think their defense. Their defense is playing pretty good. I mean, the Browns had every opportunity to score about 40 points in that game, and the defense is kind of holding on there, making fourth down stops. I don't think Goff has seen a lot of pressure. So the key to the game is going to be on the Bears pass rush getting pressure, which I'm going to trust them to do that in this game.
It's going to be on the Bears not getting one net yard. That's what's going to be on.
Yeah, but I think it could be like a 6-3, not realistically. Close to that, though. You get my point?
Yeah.
I think they can win on defense. I think they pressure Goff. I think I really wish I knew who was starting at quarterback because I don't know if it really matters, though.
To me, it doesn't matter.
I'm in the same boat.
I think they get David Montgomery going in this game. I think they get him going. I'm leaning towards Bears, mainly win defensively. Just imagine if they put. I don't think they're going to put Nick Foles in, but if they put Nick Foles in, I think it'd be pretty funny.
Can you imagine if he lights it up?
I still think. I mean, he's definitely. It's the different era, and he's definitely getting older. But I think he's a smart quarterback.
I think so too.
But I don't know if there's much of a difference between him and Dalton. Fields is a lot different to his game, but it did the way he looked. It didn't feel like he was ready. But I think a week later, if he looks like he's ready, it's not going to be surprising. Like if he looks good, then it's not surprising to me. I think the Bears. I think the Bears squeak by here at home. Lions are dangerous though.
That play action.
They're going to try to hit the slip screens a lot. That's what they do. The Bears got to tackle. They struggle to tackle Kareem Hunt on some of those. So that's kind of my worry. That's a back and forth game. Bears being home and them having the defense. I'm gonna take the Bears here.
Well, the fans got.
The fans got the Lions.
Fans got the Lions.
Understandable though.
Oh
It's a
man,
toss-up.
yeah, this is so hard. It's probably the hardest game to pick this week.
They don't deserve it. The Bears don't deserve it. Go with the Lions.
All right, we'll go with the Lions.
Thank you.
I know we've been on this game forever.
We spent too much time.
I know.
on this game.
Yeah,
I
just
know.
move on.
But I want something interesting. We could talk about it off. We could talk about it off the video, but we can talk about it right now. But Albert Breer wrote an article that he talked to the Browns after the game, and the Browns planned for Justin Fields to play under center because that's what he did in preseason, and that's what he's comfortable with. And then he went back to Ohio State, and when Haskins was the starter, they were strictly shotgun. But the coaches figured out Fields is better under center, so they put a lot of under center in college for him even. But the Bears came out and ran just all shotgun with him.
That's Matt Nagy,
which he's not comfortable with.
Yeah,
the Browns just kept thinking throughout the game that they're gonna go under center, and they just stayed in shotgun, and that's just not a comfortable situation.
I'm gonna.
You probably overthought. I'm thinking Nagy overthought thing, outsmarted himself maybe a little bit.
Well, I mean, he did. I mean, there was no scheme. Oh, the last thing I want to bring up. We can move on, but Matt Nagy in his press conferences is talking about he's like, we got to figure out the whys. What's going on. I'm just thinking, why start with the whys when you can start with the X and O's? That's where you should be starting. You should figure out your own scheme before you start figuring out the whys.
What I don't like is, Nagy should have been gone a long time ago. I think we're really talking about now that it affected Justin Fields a lot, which is understandable. But it's just to me, this is like old news. Nagy should have been gone a long time ago.
Moving on.
He doesn't help. He doesn't. Oh, that's a good one. Panthers and Cowboys. Panthers are undefeated. They got some injuries. Cowboys are looking damn good. Hey, they got some injuries too. They're still both very talented. Cowboys really put the whooping on the Eagles there on Monday night. I was not expecting that, but that was impressive. But a different challenge. I'm loving the Panthers' defense. I'm liking what the Cowboys' defense is playing too. So it's a different. Neither of these teams saw who they're playing. I know the Cowboys played the Buccaneers. I'm not saying talent level. I'm saying the style of play from the opposing teams here, and this is something new here this year for these two teams. So it's going to be an interesting game. And I'm definitely looking forward to it.
I'm going with the boys at home. I like what I saw last night on Monday night. I think Darnold gives one of Diggs.
He's probably good.
Are the Cowboys? Are they getting any of their receivers back? Does anyone know?
Gallup. I don't think so. I don't
No.
think so yet.
I mean, I thought they did well anyways without the weapons. Really, I mean, guys stepped up. Dalton Schultz and
Yeah, the tight ends are looking good. Well, mainly Schultz, but they're looking good.
yeah.
They got Zeke going.
Yeah, Zeke looked good. I mean, Tony Pollard always looks good. Yeah, the defense is very surprising for them too. But I think this is the first test for the Panthers. If they win this one, I'm going to be really impressed with. I mean, I'm already impressed with them, but I'm going to be even more impressed with them.
Any word on McCaffrey?
Yeah, I don't think he's. I think
well,
he's out.
he's going to miss like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think he's out.
Got a hamstring strain.
see what C.J. Henderson does too. I don't know if he's going to step in right away. I mean, I think it's easier transition for defensive guys who get traded than offensive guys, but see if he could make an impact as well. But I like the Cowboys at home.
I think this is a tough one. I think Cowboys offense looked fast. They looked really too fast for the Eagles. That was last night on Monday night, and they threw so much at them. And the good thing about the Panthers defense, they're very fast. High energy, high motor. So I do think that's kind of the type of defense that'll match up with the Cowboys offense to slow them down but not stop them. And I think the Panthers, if Darnold throws downfield a lot, I think the Cowboys, like Pete said, will take that ball possibly. But the Panthers are pretty damn good at their small ball, and maybe that's how they beat the Cowboys. I think J.C. Horn and McCaffrey being out, and the Cowboys are missing guys too, so I'm not trying to make excuses, but I think that will be both two guys, big-time players on both sides of the ball here. I think that'll be the difference. Cowboys are also at home, that home field advantage. Like, I'm forgetting how crazy home field advantage is. I think last week there's some games like the Packers beat the 49ers. That was, kind of sides against that, argues against that, but there was some crazy home field advantages that we missed for a year. I'm taking the Cowboys. Good game, though.
Yeah, definitely a good game. I like the way Panthers defense and Darnold are playing, but the balance that the Cowboys have been playing with running the ball and passing, it's kind of what they've been searching for, specifically this last game, but it's kind of what they've been searching for the past couple of years, and I think it's finally coming through, so I'm taking the Cowboys.
Okay. Old Yeller is going with the boys. I can't believe no one's going to take the Panthers here.
3-0 Panthers.
Without McCaffrey, it's kind of...
Yeah. The fans aren't going to be happy with us.
Their best player's missing.
Yeah. I think it's still going to be a great game, but that's a guarantee, actually. Everyone for the Cowboys. Surprised with some of these guarantees. Panthers definitely could win, though. They definitely can win that game. I love their defense. They fly around the field, a lot of young studs. They're good on every level. Missing J.C. Horn. We'll see. I like the C.J. Henderson trade. I graded that. We'll see how much a factor he is right away. I think it's a good game. Colts and Dolphins. Dolphins, they figured something out, especially Jacoby Brissett. Something at the end of that Raiders game. They kind of something clicked. They got things going. And there's a chance maybe it was just at the end of that game, or maybe they're getting going here. They're so talented they can make plays on defense. And Jacoby Brissett happened to play for the Colts previously, so that makes it interesting there. And the Colts are struggling. They're 0-3. Their defense played well last week. They forced the Titans to make mistakes, and they still couldn't pull it off. So that doesn't make them look too promising there. But they did have a tough schedule, and they do have some pretty brutal injuries there. But and the Dolphins are missing Tua, so they're missing their quarterback there. I think this is going to be a good game here. I'll start us off for once. Toss-up game. Could go either way. I think the Colts get their first win. What I'm looking at here is the running game. I think Jonathan Taylor has a day. He's been a little underwhelming. I thought average-wise, I think he was all right against the Titans.
He was having a good game. I don't know why they abandoned it.
It was a weird. Yeah, I rarely get after Frank Reich on games because I'm a big fan. But it was weird. It was kind of like all right, let's limit Wentz because he's hurt, and let's play small ball, and the run's working, and run is a big part of small ball, but let's not run the ball a lot. It didn't really make sense. I guess they were playing they never had the lead, right? Yeah, they never had the lead in that game, so maybe that's why. But I do think you can run on the Dolphins, so I think they're going to try to control the run game, control the clock, ultimately control the game. The problem is the Dolphins create turnovers. Wentz has that turnover potential. Maybe Taylor does as well. We know, he hasn't really fumbled in the NFL, but he's only been in the league for a year plus 3 games. I think that would be the reason why the Dolphins would win, is because they created turnovers. It's very possible. Brissett looked good at the end of last game. I still like the Colts defense. The only thing odd about it is, for some reason, teams have been able to run a little bit more on them than we're used to, but the Dolphins don't really present the greatest run game either. Basically, what I'm getting here is the run game's going to win. I'm going to take the Colts run game.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with the Colts really this year. I know and the injuries are piling up too, which is not good. But the whole game plan from last week was very confusing to me. Jonathan Taylor was running all over our defense. I don't know why they just went away from it. It just didn't make any sense. Putting the game in Wentz when he's hurt was not good. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins at home. I like what I saw. I think it's a good revenge game for Brissett.
Reich knows all about that. Jacoby
Yeah.
Brissett, though.
Like thinking about the game last week, the Titans played pretty terrible, and the Colts had 3 turnovers. They got 3 turnovers against the Titans.
Colts should have won that game.
And the Titans had forced 0 turnovers. So they had the turnover battle, won 3-0. The Colts are the second least penalized team in the league, and they're 0-3. They're doing all those things right, but I think just too many injuries and some bad coaching decisions by them are hurting them. And Carson Wentz.
Well, I'm taking the Colts.
Okay.
I think for the Colts, I mean, they've played some tough teams. They played some tough defenses. So I think, they went down. I was looking at the scores. I was trying to remember exactly. But
Seattle sure isn't a tough defense. But that was week 1.
Yeah, that was week 1. That's mysterious. But, I mean, Rams 27, Colts 24. Close game. Rams, great defense. Again, Wentz has got 2 bad ankles, but
a bad foot.
I'm going to lock this in as my squeaker. I think it's going to be a close game. I think what you were saying with the run game, I think it's going to come down to that. I just don't know if Jacoby Brissett can, put up the same amount of points 2 weeks in a row. If he plays as well as he did last week, then yeah, Dolphins got this. But if it's a running the ball, I'm going to lean on the Colts.
I think there's going to be a meltdown in Indianapolis if Jacoby Brissett just completely outplays Wentz and Wentz kind of blows the game, which is a possibility.
Yeah, that would be
because they wanted Brissett out of there. He was
What'd they trade for him?
For Wentz?
Yeah.
Well, it's depending on how much he plays this year. It could be the first round pick, which would look right now, it's way too early, look like a pretty damn good pick. It depends on how many snaps he plays.
Yeah.
So if they keep losing, I think they're gonna tank it. They're gonna take him out so he doesn't play as much snaps. Then they give him a second round pick.
Colts were my dark horse too. I mean, the injuries are piling up, but I mean,
I think
before preseason they'll my dark horse.
Probably figure it out unless but I say that, but then is Wentz even going to be out?
That's the big question mark.
Yeah, because I don't think he's good, but he's a lot better than their next option. So it's it's a big difference.
Well, do you think about all week leading up to the game, they're getting Huntley ready to play instead of Jacob Eason. You see how much faith they have in Jacob Eason?
Yeah, I don't know if Eason really fits them right now because he's kind of like big play downfield, but he can't really handle the small ball.
Why'd you draft him?
It's kind of what they needed at the time. They needed that big play downfield. So it's what they got. They're in a tough situation.
If they lose, oh my God,
it's over.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
a must-win game.
People got to stop. Not trying to be. I'm sorry if I'm being a Colts hater, but we got to stop with the Chris Ballard praise too. I don't.
Such a hater, dude.
Just a fucking hater. Just a fucking hater.
Let me hear it in the comments.
Let them hear it. Yeller's going with the Dolphins.
There we go, Yeller.
And then fans are going with the Colts.
Wow.
Right.
So 3-2.
Let's go.
I thought I was going to be a lone wolf on that one.
3-2 split. It could go either way. If I miss the game, I always use this. If I somehow missed the game and you told me the Colts won, I'd be like, all right, and I had to guess how. I'd say it was because they just outran them. If I missed the game and you told me the Dolphins won, I would guess because they won the turnover battle by a decent amount. So yeah,
thank you.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next game. Ooh, the Browns and the Vikings. Stefanski, the head coach of the Browns, was the offense coordinator for the Vikings before going there, so that makes it interesting. 2 teams that are pretty damn good running the football and looking solid passing the ball as well. I think the Browns' defense has stepped up a little more than the Vikings. Vikings picked it up defensively in the second half of the Seattle game, holding the Seahawks to 17. This should be a pretty good game here. This should be a pretty damn good game. Who wants to start us?
I'll start us. I was actually going to go with the Vikings, but I changed my mind. I'm going to go with the Browns. In my notes, I have the Vikings, but I'm switching it to the Browns. The screen game, the running game for the Browns is top tier. Bears have a good front seven. They were able to get yards against the Bears. Vikings defense showed up last week, and I love the way Kirk Cousins is playing. But in my notes again, I had the Vikings. Mainly because of how Kirk Cousins was playing, but
you think he's due for a bad one?
I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about the Browns running the ball, they're tough to stop. They're tough to stop. Yeah, and I think if they could control the clock, they could keep getting those first downs like they were for the Bears. I don't think the Browns passing game has to do much to win. The defense has to step up. They have to get pressure on Kirk, and they just have to run the ball and control the clock, and they'll win the game.
Okay. Pete, where you going?
This is one of the last ones I'm deciding on too. This is so tough.
I'll go. Yeah, I think the Browns could have success running the ball. Definitely. I think the Vikings are good. Like, if you're going to run it inside the tackles, that's where the Vikings will stop you. But if you bounce anything out, I think you'll beat them on that. I haven't been thrilled with Stefanski's play calling, though. I don't know what's happening. Crucial downs, third down. They were going for it on fourth down against the Bears. It didn't look that great. I'm feeling the better offense right now. The better offense right now to me is the Vikings. They're home in this game. Here's a big reason, too. Stefanski coming from Minnesota, they know each other's offense. They know each other's offense. The Vikings have actually kind of changed their offense a bit since they had Stefanski. So the Browns may know what to expect, but it could be something totally different. They pass more often. They're going to see more receivers out there on the field. And big thing here, mentioned a little earlier in the video when it came down to the Cowboys, forget how crazy the Vikings' home field advantage is. We saw it against the Seattle Seahawks. So a couple reasons there why I'm picking the Vikings. Their defense definitely could blow it in this game, though. Surprisingly, minus week 1, the Vikings' offensive line's actually been playing pretty solid, which is weird. So will the Browns be racking up the sacks they got last week? I don't think so, but they could. Myles Garrett definitely could be a factor. I'm just feeling the Vikings at home. If it was in Cleveland, I'd be taking the Browns, no question. It's just, I guess that's the difference in this one.
I still don't know. I'm just back and forth. I know Yeller's going.
Yeller's taking the Vikings.
What's the fans saying?
Fans are taking the Browns.
What about the ESPN fans?
76% Browns.
Ooh.
I don't know. The Browns weren't that impressive against the Bears. I feel like they should have won that game by a lot more, but
that's what I'm thinking too. But
that's just weird.
The Bears were able to get a lot of pressure on Baker, but
I picked the Vikings last week. I'm gonna go with the Browns though. I don't know. Like your point with Stefanski. I think he knows what to expect with Zimmer's defense. Honestly, so I think he could call he could put together a good game plan and then call a good game against Zimmer's defense, especially with Zimmer not having the elite players, as many elite players on their defense as he usually has in past years. I think the Browns could get it going on offense here. It's gonna be really. It's my squeaker though.
That's a squeaker.
Yeah,
it could go either way. Really, yeah. Again, it came down to, it was so close. It came down who was home. Really.
There's a lot of good games this week.
Yeah.
Next up, we got the Giants and the Saints. That easy?
Nope. That way. Sorry.
Everyone taking the Saints?
No,
Yeah.
I'm the Giants guy, the non-Giants.
I don't know if it's not really going to be, and the fans are taking the Saints as well. I don't think this is going to be an ass beating. Some people might think it'd be an ass beating. I think the Giants probably can keep it close. The Giants played pretty good defense last week. You still worry about.
I feel like they always keep it close. They just blow
I like Jameis, but you still worry about there's going to be games, maybe some surprising ones too, like maybe against the Giants where he just kind of turns the ball over and just gives the game away. I think the Saints kind of try to make him more. They play by week and they try to make him more of a game manager. Kind of did it a little bit last week, and they kind of do it this week. Kind of let the defense handle business, try to create turnovers from Daniel Jones. They're home in this game as well. Defensive game. I'm gonna take the Saints. I think if they just unleash Jameis, let him throw a million times, they could lose the game that way. I think they know that. But the same thing kind of goes for Daniel Jones. I think both teams are going to try to win with defense in this game. I'm going to take the Saints defense at home. That's kind of where I'm getting at there.
I think the Giants just need to commit to Saquon more. I mean, that low-scoring game, 17-14. They're not playing catch-up too much, and they give Saquon the ball 16 times. I mean, he's your
Saints are one of the toughest run defenses in
football.
Even
so, you gotta feed the guy. And that's me speaking because I have him in fantasy. But, yeah, you got to feed the guy.
Could it be an 0-4 start for the Giants? We're predicting it. It's no good. That's no good. All right, we didn't spend too much time on that one. Even though I think the Giants kind of have a shot. I think it could be.
Giants, it's definitely possible.
The Giants need I don't know the Giants.
GM. They need a new GM.
I was about to say I don't know how the Giants fans feel, but
they do have the Bears draft pick.
Yeah, I know, and they need to get a new GM in there before he blows. He's going to have a top pick.
Well, Ryan Pace might be available after this year. I don't know.
He's gonna have.
That'd be wild.
The Giants. The Giants better get a new GM because they're going to have their own top pick and they're going to have the Bears' top pick.
Yeah.
Don't let them blow it.
Tighten up, Pete. Tighten up.
Well, you know what? The Titans play down to their competition. They always do it. They've done it for years. I don't know what the problem is, but
So you're thinking a squeaker?
probably gonna be closer than a lot of people think. I don't know what do you even know what the line is on this?
I think it was only 7.5.
Yeah, I mean should probably be there.
Taking the
I'm taking the Titans, obviously, but
I'm actually gonna go with the Jets. I'm
No.
kidding. No, you're not.
Can we please throw the ball to A.J. Brown?
he's hurt.
Well, he got hurt like instantly last game.
Yeah, but I know. But in
I
general,
I mean,
know.
he dropped the ball the week before.
Yeah,
too
I don't-
that's what I'm saying. Like,
It's
we just
it's a very tough start for A.J. Brown. I think it's a hamstring strain, which is a good thing. That's better than pulling it. And they play the Jets and they play the Jags, so I think they're going to be on the conservative side and hold them out those 2 games. But I think they took. I guess Julio didn't play pretty much in the second half because he said he felt tight and Vrabel wanted to hold him out because he's like, I'm not hurting both of my receivers. So I think Julio might be good to go this week. And then we'll see if they let Josh Reynolds dress and play.
Are the Jets the worst team in football right now, in your guys' opinion?
Probably.
We'll see after this week.
Corey Davis revenge game, though.
If they get beat bad by the Titans, is it like, all right, that's what makes them the worst? I don't know.
No,
Maybe.
I was just depending on the Bears situation.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Still fired up about it.
Still fired up. What if the Titans just blew that one, Pete?
They could.
Where would you be at? Like,
Titans would be the worst team in the league.
No, I just think it's just
they surprisingly remember the Bengals game last year. The Bengals were a lot better than what the Jets are right now, though.
Yeah.
But that one surprised you a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be one of those.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
Okay,
'Cause
all
they just
right.
do that.
Giving the Jets fans
Yeah.
the hope. Chiefs and the Eagles. The Chiefs lost 2 in a row, folks.
1-2.
And the Eagles lost 2 in a row as well.
1
The
and
Eagles
2.
look like they might be good after week 1, and they are not good. We learned that. They're not good.
I don't know. I was getting excited about them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They lied to us. Everyone going with the Chiefs aren't going to lose 3 in a row.
I was
think
just about
so.
to say there's no shot. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. I think Eagles are gonna put up points.
I was impressed with Hurts, and all of a sudden what happened?
That's the thing with the Chiefs, though. Like, it could this year's Chiefs team could be a team that we're feeling very confident in them beating the Eagles. They could be allowing these teams to be close because the defense could struggle. Hurts could run for a lot of yards. Sanders can run for a lot of yards. They're gonna have to run the ball to do that, though. They refused to run the ball last week.
I was about to say, does Miles Sanders exist? Or?
He had 2 carries. I picked the Eagles last
That's
week because I
bad.
thought they can have success running the ball. They
That's
didn't even
so
try.
bad.
I
Yeah.
didn't watch all the game. Was it a lot of read options where the quarterback decides to keep
bare-
it, or was it just like straight?
It was just straight passes. It was insane. And if you remember my explanation by picking Eagles, I felt very comfortable about the matchup: Eagles running game versus the Cowboys run defense, and they didn't even try. They didn't even try. So
I mean, Hurts ran, but I mean,
What's up with
barely.
that? What's up with that Andy Reid tree over there? Like that.
It's not looking good.
It's
Junior
'cause
was right about that.
It's like
he called that.
Nagy not running the ball, and then the Colts last week not running the ball. When they
Andy
should've.
Reid's great. The tree's not.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the
they're
Chiefs are
struggling.
1-2.
They're fine.
I don't know. I think.
But I don't mean fine in terms of like they're going to go win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But they might not be able to get there.
We talked about the defense. I think the other problem, they went and got Josh Gordon, but like, what are we gonna get out of Josh
Double
Gordon?
Tyreek Hill and
But yeah, that's all. Like they're
Kelsey's going to beat us, but that's when one guy's not going to beat us. I think it's the way-
their weapons. Their weapons are just very.
Hardman's all right.
I don't
Just kind of
know.
hit or miss though.
I don't like.
They use Pringle too much.
Yeah, I don't know. Those guys should be. Those guys should thrive. Like they should be double team Kelsey, double team Tyreek Hill. Like the other receivers should be just loving that offense, but they're just not producing.
Yeah, I'm just. I mean, the Eagles probably can keep it close just because how bad the Chiefs' defense is. But even if the Eagles score a good amount of points in this game, I'm still not a believer really with them. Hurts under pressure. I mean, Sirianni with his coaching, his decisions. I mean, after running the ball 2 times last week, is just. I mean, that's just mind blowing stuff.
They're not going to run the ball this week because Chiefs are going to put up points.
Yeah,
So
that's a good
They
point.
won't have time.
Yeah, we're pretty confident with the Chiefs here. What if they lost again?
That'd be wild.
Would be wild. There's a good one. Two undefeated teams. 3-0, 3-0. The Rams made their way to number 1 in our power rankings. The Cardinals number 5, so it's a 1-5 battle here. The Rams took down the Bucs last week. The Rams' offense is looking pretty damn good. I mean, Cardinals' offense is definitely different and looking really good. I like that they got the running backs going last week. I was kind of calling for more Connor. I'm typically more of an Edmonds over Connor guy, but I was calling for more Connor last week during that game.
Huge Connor guy.
And he was getting going. He scored 2 touchdowns. So I like the Cardinals kind of keeping some of these teams, thinking like they're not, maybe they won't just pass the ball here. So I do like that.
But I like the Rams in this game.
You like the Rams?
Yeah, at home.
We like the Rams
yeah.
at this game.
Dan, your 17-0 Bucks thing.
Yeah, it did not come to fruition, and like I said, if you're gambling person, start fading me because I'm off on everything. So you might want to take the Cardinals.
And just check out BetQL. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, but I should have been
BetQL,
checking out BetQL.
That's what you should have been doing.
Yeah, I picked the Rams to beat the Bucks last week. I felt pretty good about that. I'm gonna pick them again. I think similar matchup actually. If you remember last week, a big reason I said I like the Rams was because although their defense is kind of giving up more plays, more yards underneath a bit more than maybe last year, they know how to take away the deep ball, and then that Tom Brady, the Bucks, those receivers live off that. That's what the Cardinals do as well. It's definitely different. There's more speed, I think, with the Cardinals, and Kyler Murray can buy himself way more time than Tom Brady, so that could be the reason why the Cardinals kind of can overtake that. But the Rams do a good job covering downfield. I think because Kyler Murray's going to buy himself time, and receivers eventually get wide open when Kyler Murray basically gets the receivers wide open. I mean, he does, not basically. I think the Rams have the deep secondary to kind of he's going to have to buy himself even more time, and then you got some athletic guys like Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd. Justin Holland's been playing pretty damn good. Kenny Young, inside linebacker, has been playing pretty damn good.
I was gonna say, can you see Kyler, being a joystick in the pocket like he's been doing with this pass rush?
I think he can. Yeah, I think he can outrun them. I think
they got some speed on that defensive line.
They do. I think he's going to be able to escape. I think the Rams,
that Leonard Floyd guy.
The Rams are going to be able to cut his time down a little bit that he has compared to other teams. Not a lot. I think the key is Kyler Murray just running, just go. I think that'll be a way for them to beat them. Both explosive offenses, both can beat the opposing defense in any way, but I'm not worried about either offense in this game. The Rams, I'm going to trust a little more, mainly taking care of the ball because the Cardinals do have kind of that turnover potential a little bit. Rams are also home. I also, in a high-scoring game, which defense can make that extra play, I trust the Rams defense a little more. If the Cardinals do end up winning, I think it's because Murray maybe had a great day on the ground, possibly. I like the Rams. So the best team in football right now. Cardinals looking pretty good as well. Cardinals had a little bit of scares the last 2 weeks, though. Are they going to pull another one off here? So going to be interesting. Old Yeller is going with the Rams, and the fans are going with the Rams. So that is actually a guarantee.
Sorry, Cardinals. I'd love to take you, but Rams are pretty damn good.
Everyone against an undefeated Cardinals. I mean, it's
undefeated versus
somebody's going to
undefeated.
lose, right?
Someone's going to lose.
That'd be a huge win if the Cardinals pull it off there. So, yeah, I'm surprised no one took the Cardinals. I think if it was in Arizona, I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I would be surprised no one took the Cardinals because typically we got a home field advantage this year. Typically, they're going to split. Cardinals definitely have a shot to win this game and then the one at home. This is a good game right here. Seahawks. This is a good one. Seahawks and 49ers. The Seahawks are 1-2. The 49ers are 2-1. They a little weird. It was a weird game last week against the Packers. They kind of blew that one. But yeah, I mean this to me is a must-win division game. You look at the Cardinals and Rams. You could say it's winner is looking like the best team in football. They're first in division, but I think the loser of this game might be in deep shit. Like, they're not going to be a terrible team, but it's not good in the NFC West here if you lose this game. So that's why I look at it as a must-win. Definitely can go either way. Yeah, this is one of those toss-up games. This is probably the second hardest one to pick for me. We didn't get to the hardest one to pick, in my opinion. I'm leaning towards the Niners at home here. Seahawks defense is bad. That's really what it is right now. Maybe they figured out this game. For some odd reason, the 49ers offensive line really struggled against the Packers, and the Packers without Zadarius Smith, they have not been able to get any pass rush. They were getting all kinds of pressure on Garoppolo, all kinds, and it was instantly too in snaps. So the Seahawks they're a blitzing team. They don't get pass rush the old-fashioned way. They blitz. The last 2 weeks, Tannehill was able to overcome it in the second half, and Kirk Cousins dominated the blitz last week, which was insane. He typically is good against the blitz. I shouldn't say that. It was insane. But so that's the thing. Will the blitz throw off Garoppolo? Will he do enough? I think it could actually throw him off, but the third down defense, specifically the corners, on third down, they're giving up way too much separation for the Seahawks. I think Shanahan's going to find ways to convert. We don't have to let Garoppolo sit back in the pocket. We can run the ball against them. We can, get the end arounds going. Shanahan and McVay probably the top of the league in terms of pre-snap motion, so they're really gonna throw off the Seahawks defense, I think. And 49ers defense hasn't really been that great, but I think they kind of do enough there. So I'm kind of leaning towards the 49ers, but a game that could go either way.
I'm leaning towards 49ers as well. I was thinking it's like go back like last year, a couple of years ago, and if you would have said that Seahawks would be bottom of their division, it's like kind of like still with Russell Wilson, you'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? It's just weird to see. Like in years past, it was like, oh yeah, I got the Seahawks, no doubt. And now it's just kind of weird, like it's picking against them. Like yeah, I don't know. It's just weird to me.
They're all their defense is the main blame, but their offense has been disappearing in the second half of games.
It's bland. It's bland.
Which is weird to see.
Yeah, didn't they get the Rams? They got someone from the Rams to
Waldron, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just confusing. Like they
look great in the first half.
It seems like the same old stuff with the Seahawks. They make big plays, and then all of a sudden they just get stagnant and they can't do anything.
Well, in their defense, I guess it's more of a shot towards the defense. The Seahawks only had the ball for 7 minutes in the second half against the Vikings.
Yeah.
So I think the Vikings' run game did that.
Oh, it's give what Danny's saying with the Seahawks, but like at the same time, I feel like they've been losing talent. And when they were going on the Super Bowl runs and everything like that, like all that talent's kind of gotten older and it's kind of fallen out. And I feel like we're kind of seeing it now for once with the Seahawks. I think they're going to end up towards the bottom of the division. We want the Niners at home here.
Wow.
I don't know. I with the Niners though too, like they really rely on their run game, and it's just weird this year. And they don't have the running backs are all banged up.
Every week I'm like, are we going to see more Trey Lance? We're going to see more Trey Lance. Are we finally going to see it?
This might be the week.
I'm kind of waiting for a Jimmy Garoppolo meatball game here soon too.
I mean, he kind of blew it at the end of last
game.
Well, the last drive he had was good, but the one before that with the backward spike,
I know
that's pretty. That shouldn't happen ever. Not even once.
I know. I'm waiting for a meatball. This might be it. Maybe the Seahawks pull this one off because he has.
I just don't see the Niners losing two in a row at home, especially like heartbreaking fashion like they did against the Packers.
Yeah, that was a wild one.
Was everyone else got? Everyone else got the Niners?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's another surprising one that nobody took the Seahawks, but. They definitely could win the game. It's definitely a tough. I thought this was the second hardest game to pick. So I thought if it was in Seattle, I probably would have taken Seattle. It's like some of these are so close where I think the home team it could be the difference. But I am worried about the Seahawks defense. The defense, I could see a scenario where the defense wins them this game again with the blitz just throwing off Garoppolo. But man, if you pass blitz and they run, 49ers are a good running team. That they might kill. We'll see what running backs are in for the 49ers this week. Sermon can't really do much. We'll see if any get healthy. But the Seahawks defense, specifically third down defense, is very bad right now. So and the Shanahan 49ers on third down offensively, pretty damn good. Kittle probably has a big game. This is the toughest one to pick of the week, in my opinion. Ravens and Broncos. The Ravens are pulling out some squeakers here, 2 in a row. The Broncos are 3-0, but they haven't played the best competition yet. So yeah, now you play the Ravens. It's a bigger team there. It's a better team. Better coach for sure.
Better pizza.
Papa John's, yes. Broncos home in this game. Teddy, 2 gloves, playing pretty well. More injuries piling up. Remember, Judy went down. Now Hamler's down. Luckily, Judy will be back at some point during the year. Not this week. Hamler's out for the season now, though. But they do have Sutton and Tim Patrick. Good thing they're loaded at receiver. They signed David Moore. I don't know. I think he's a pretty serviceable receiver.
Yeah, I like him.
But I don't know how much we'll see of him this week. No Bradley Chubb, but it didn't seem to be a problem last week. They were able to get some pass rush, mainly with the blitz, though. A.J. Johnson was blitzing quite a bit. The Ravens just keep pulling it off. Well-disciplined team.
You know what? Give me the Broncos at home.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like the Broncos. I like what I'm seeing. We always talk about Mile High. It's a tough place to play, and again, we're talking about the home field advantage this year. I like the Broncos. I feel like the Ravens are getting away with a lot I don't know. I thought they should have lost last week. They should have got called for a delay of game, and they got away with it.
They should have, but yeah, maybe you could argue, not taking anything away from the Lions. I don't want to take anything away from either team. You can argue in different spots of the game that this team. But what I was going to get to was if Hollywood didn't drop the damn ball, then the Ravens probably would have pulled away 3 times.
That's true.
Then they would have pulled away a long time ago. But that's part of the game. He dropped the ball. He's just dropped it.
Yeah.
Bateman could be back this week. He's going to practice.
Oh.
He's going to practice. And at Ravens defense last week, they had a bunch of defensive players on the COVID list as well. They're coming back.
I like the Broncos defense though, and I don't know. The Ravens. If Bateman comes back, that might be huge, but I think it's kind of I don't know. I think
Bateman's their best receiver. We haven't even seen him yet.
I think he'll be limited though, and it's his first real NFL game. I don't know how much he's gonna do.
Was Dan going? You going Ravens?
I'm going Ravens.
I can tell by the tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just like.
I mean, good for the Broncos for executing 3 weeks in a row, getting the wins. But I mean, I think they, based off your power rankings, I think they played the worst 3 teams based on your power rankings. So I can't fault the Broncos for the schedule, but I don't know. I just think when I'm looking at the matchup wise, I think both teams are going to be running the ball a lot. I think. Man, it's tough. I'm just going to go with Lamar. I'm not going to say Ravens. I'm going to go with Lamar. I think he's going to make the extra play.
Yeller is going with the Ravens. I think this is the toughest game to pick this week. Like you said, Lamar could just be the difference. The Broncos are very good in terms of their defense. They're one of the best run stopping. They're one of the best everything defenses.
But you have to stop Lamar.
Yeah, but Lamar is a different type of run. Stopping the run situation. It's totally different. So Lamar definitely could have a day. Something's just pulling me towards these Broncos, though. Couple things here. I think it helps their home at small part.
Javonte Williams.
Yeah, he fumbled on the goal line last week. Didn't like that. I mean, the duo, though, Gordon and Williams looks pretty damn good. That's really not a big reason I think I picked them, but I think they could get – I would like them to get going in the slip screen game. I'm a big slip screen guy. There's some teams that do it too often. I think you can beat the Ravens doing that. But the Ravens coming off 2 emotional wins. Like, could they go get a third in a row after that? It's typically hard to do. They are getting a lot of guys back here. That could be big. I think this year's Ravens team, with trying to find what their matchup problem is. I don't want to say weakness. I don't know if they have a real big weakness against anybody. It's a very good team, well-coached team. But with the injuries they have, the type of team they are, I think they match up better against the better offense, weaker defense. Teams they can just be in a battle with, scoring. Last week there wasn't a lot of scoring. There was a lot of mistakes, but it is the Lions at the same time. The Broncos we think, is one of the best defenses in football, but they haven't played the best competition. But I think that defense of the Broncos slows them down, and I do think the Broncos can kind of they're not going to score a lot, but they get enough on the board there. So I'm feeling the Broncos. I'm trusting Teddy here. He's got to take care of the ball. I do think the Broncos could take away the pass game of the Ravens as well. Just a very talented defense. So I'm kind of leaning there. It's close, though. I'm leaning with the Broncos.
I think it's going to end up being like an old school football game. A lot of running the ball. And the Ravens side, just that read option, man. I think that's going to be the killer for the Broncos.
Yeah, but I'm going to trust the Broncos in the passing game a little more than the Ravens, though. Maybe. I mean, Teddy has that. I could see him having a bad week. The Ravens' defense just doesn't seem the same without Peters, though. I still believe. They put up a good fight last week. They held the Lions, but. I guess it's tough. The Broncos missing receivers too, but and I worry about the Ravens' offensive line. It doesn't look good, so I'm gonna take I like the defense. I think the Ravens, they can go out and prove me wrong here. I think I think it could be a 1-point game, 2, 3, whatever it is. So I don't know if it's not going to surprise me, but I think they could struggle with the better defensive teams. But we don't even know how great we're confident it's a good defense. We don't know if it's great because of who they played. So this is a game we're going to learn a lot, I think. Fans are going with the Ravens, so just me and Pete on the Broncos there. Yeah, again, toughest one to pick for me. I've been back and forth on it all day. Yeah.
Good ball game, though.
Good ball game. Steelers and Packers. Packers pull off a squeaker there. Well, they were beating the Niners up, actually, 17-0, but then they pull off the squeaker. Clutch performance there from Rodgers, Devonta Adams, Mason Crosby there at the end. 37 seconds, no timeouts. Ridiculous. Not too many teams can do that. Steelers are really shit in the bed right now offensively. We'll see if T.J. Watt plays. Maybe they thought, just save him for the Packers game last week. Maybe they were thinking that. I mean, you see how good he is, how different the Steelers are with and without him.
But that doesn't help their offense. I mean, I guess if he creates a turnover, but
he could get after Rodgers in this game. He could, and I do think you could score on the Packers defense. So maybe this is a matchup, even though it's a great team in the Packers, maybe it's a matchup the Steelers are looking for here, that they can get pressure and slow down an offense that's not used to being slowed down. And then, hey, maybe we can score. We can dump the ball off to Najee Harris. He can get loose.
They seemed to do that a lot last week, huh?
Yeah. Maybe too much.
Yeah, I'm taking the Packers. Give me the Packers.
Yeah,
I think
the Packers are going to get.
I think
they're just getting started right now.
I do think it could be a trap game, like I was saying, but I think everyone's going for the Packers here.
Did you see that play that Roethlisberger had? He threw it and he tripped right away.
Yeah,
that was bad.
That's the difference here. I'm not really trusting Big Ben in these games.
I was gonna say, did you see Tyler Boyd said after the game or whatever?
No, what did he say?
That was nice. He was just like he basically said like the Steelers just quit, like they quit mid game.
Yeah.
I just love the trash talk already.
Did he get penalized in the press conference? Or?
I don't think so.
Also, the ref comes in,
Yeah.
taunting. Boyd.
The game yesterday, there was some trash talk. I'm glad they didn't call it.
Yeah,
that's kind of my problem with it. Like, it's just a random when they call it and they don't. Like,
Yeah.
it's just so super inconsistent.
If it's just like chirping, like I could get that. But if it's just like your mom's a hoe, like that, you can't have that.
That definitely probably goes down. So we're going with the Packers here, but the Steelers still got a good defense, especially if T.J. Watt plays as a test for the Packers offense.
When is Darius Smith supposed to be back? I can't speak.
Not yet. It's gonna be at least 2 more weeks probably.
I mean, they got pressure last week.
At least 1 more week, I should say, but I think it's gonna be more. They got pressure without him, which was surprising because they were getting 0 before that. But I don't know if pressure is gonna win the game for them in this game. I think it's just the offense needs to just do enough, against a good defense here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking that was a Sunday night game. No, this is the Sunday night game right here.
Of
Buccaneers.
course it is.
Yeah, it's Tom Brady versus Bill Belichick. Gronk and Tom Brady versus Bill Belichick. Should be a fun one. The Buccaneers got a lot of injuries on their defense, and some on the offense too, with Scotty Miller being out, but Antonio Brown should be back because he's
Scotty Miller. They don't need Scotty.
He was a
Miller.
factor. Okay, last year.
They don't need.
He caught a couple
Scotty
balls,
Miller.
couple deep ones.
They don't need.
Yeah. Patriots messy game against the Saints. It's a totally different type of matchup, though. Like, this is a defense the Patriots can move the ball on, and they could have some success on defense. Maybe against Tom Brady, they know how he plays. Sunday night in New England, that place is going to be nuts.
I'm thinking it's going to be weird for Patriots fans.
It's going to be just
because there's a lot of Patriots fans like the past couple years when he went to the Bucs that they're like, okay, we're rebuilding, but I'm going to still support my guy. And now your guy is going to be on the opposing team in your own stadium. I think there's going to be a lot of cheering regardless of what he does.
There's probably a lot of Brady fans there.
Oh, 100%.
Like a lot of they were Patriots.
It's like
fans.
LeBron. It's like LeBron fans.
Yeah.
It's like they were going from Cleveland to Miami back to over to LA. Like, well, I'm going with the Bucs. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I
think we're all going with the Bucs.
I think the most pissed person there will be Belichick, because we know Belichick wants this win.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be going all out for this.
I think the Patriots have a shot, though. It's a totally different matchup than the Saints game. The Saints are gonna slow them down and create turnovers, and that's enough. I mean, the Buccaneers can get pressure. I mean, the Patriots need Trent Brown because Mac Jones has actually been pressured. But I think they can move the ball. I think the Patriots can move the ball on the Bucs, and they might be able to create a turnover. The Buccaneers do have a little bit of turnover potential there, so it's just people think, well, the Patriots got hammered by the Saints, so they're going to get hammered by the Bucs. It's a totally different matchup. Every matchup's different. Patriots at home in prime time, they definitely have a shot. I think this is probably closer than what people think. There's a scenario where I see the Bucs kind of whooping their ass. It's where they start, where they start with the ball, they go and score, and then the Patriots, maybe go 3 and out or turn the ball over very, very early, and the Buccaneers get up by 2 scores very, very early where the Patriots can't run the ball, and then that's going to be an ass beating if that's the case. But if the Patriots kind of sticking with them early, it's going to stay that way. That's how I feel. So,
good game coming up.
It's definitely going to be interesting. They're probably going to be talking a bit too much about Brady Belichick relationship.
It's gonna be the whole game.
Monday night game is a fantastic ball game. The Raiders.
Why are the Raiders getting all these Monday night games?
Yeah. Last year, all of their primetime games were home, so they finally get a primetime game away, though, if I'm not mistaken there. But it was a great new stadium last year, so, yeah, understandable. kind of. But Raiders are 3-0. Chargers are 2-1. They're fresh off of beating the Chiefs. Raiders are just a really good early season team. They might be a really good team in general this year. They're looking really good, but I still, the little sloppy last week for the Raiders. They still pulled it off. This is kind of more their element, I think, prime time. I don't think they'll be too sloppy. Even though the Chargers' defense does create plays, they'll create turnovers. Chargers are a little sloppy in the red zone with penalties and not executing a little better last week, but we've seen the same thing for 3 weeks where it's like, okay, the Chargers are about to put up about 50 points. Maybe not 50, but yeah, a lot of points, and they kind of melt down in the red zone. And I'm not saying they – I count penalties in terms of the meltdown because I think most time they are the right penalties. So they need to execute here in this game, but they looked very good last week. We know they have a high-powered offense. We know the defense can create plays. I think the Raiders are kind of a similar thing. They kind of got a high-powered offense right now, and their defense kind of can create plays. It's a much better defense than it was in the past. I think that's going to be a hell of a game here.
Is Josh Jacobs back?
Don't know yet. I
think I saw
thinking he will be. Yeah. We don't know yet, but I'm my money's on he will be. But I'm not 100%.
For a big game. So let me go first.
Okay.
I'm going to take the Raiders.
He's taking the Raiders.
If Josh Jacobs is back.
He's back.
I think the Chargers overall the past 3 weeks have been struggling stopping the run. And for some reason I think Josh Jacobs is just waiting for this game. Yeah, that's all.
That could be the difference because Edwards-Helaire ran all over them.
Which is shocking because
Tony Pollard ran all over them the week before, so that could be it. But I'm going with the Chargers. I think the Raiders get their first loss. It's going to be okay. They're still a good team. The Chargers at home. That place is going to be nuts. Monday night. I think it's an offensive game, but I think they get enough offense in this game. I think it's just this game could have 0 turnovers or it could have quite a bit. So I guess it's who wins the turnover battle as well. But I'm feeling the Chargers at home here. If it was in Las Vegas, it might be another one of those where if it's in Las Vegas in prime time, you probably have to take the Raiders. Hard to pick against the Raiders at this point. And the Chargers just they're a little more explosive on the offense side of things. But like Danny said, yeah, you make a good point because if you have success on the ground, you can change the whole game. You can control the clock. You could and you can keep the ball out of the hands of Herbert for a long period of time there, and they could very well do that. Gruden's a smart guy. He can start with the ball. They can run the ball on the clock, and that can change anything. But Chargers are a type of team that can score in a matter of a couple plays with those explosive plays. So I think they kind of almost take that away. But
that pass rush though. I think this is going to be
for
a really
which
good
team?
game.
They're both good.
Well, right, but I think I've been watching a lot more Raiders games lately, so I'm kind of feeling them. I definitely think the Chargers should win it, and I think most people will take the Chargers. I'm just for some reason I feel like they're going to have really good success running the ball, and I think it's going to eat a lot of clock.
Pete's going with the Chargers. Am I right?
Yeah.
I can tell.
I think Danny makes a good point though, because I think Gruden loves to run the ball first, and that really hasn't been the strategy to start the. They actually ran it a lot this last week with Peyton Barbery. Peyton Barbery. Anyways, I like the Chargers at home in prime time. And I kind of like the strategy they had at the end of the game. The Chargers not being conservative. A lot of people were kind of questioning that, but them just throwing the ball even when they could have just ran it out and kicked the game-winning field goal. They just went to their weapons, and I think Mike Williams having a hell of a year so far. I think Keenan Allen has a hell of a game here, and they get it done.
Yeller is going with the Chargers, and the fans are going with the Chargers. So Dan's all by himself over there. Lone Wolf Monday night. It didn't work out for me on the Lone Wolf Monday night this week.
I needed to catch up on some points here, boys. So
all right.
we're making some decisions.
It's going to be a great game, folks. A lot of great games. Once again, special thanks to our sponsors at BetQL. They got an app. Check it out. Google Play, App Store. There's also a website. If you sign up, code GOAT for 25% off. There's a special offer from BetMGM. There's you get $200 free on your first bet, something along those lines. All the info and links are in the description of this video. So you go ahead and check it out. Definitely worth it. Definitely a very cool platform there, app that they have. But we are out of here. But yeah, like, subscribe, turn notifications on. That'll be much appreciated. I got score predictions coming every Wednesday. We got power rankings on Tuesday. We got the whole everything. We got everything. We're adding more. The rookie power rankings coming back soon. BetQL some more. And then our Twitter. Make sure it's an absolute follow. Trying to get 10K, more action on there. Everyone loves action, right? Once we get to 10K.
Love action.
Yeah, it's going to do it. Thanks for watching.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.